so makes me very scared.
My name is Angela.
Your public radio voice? Is that nice?
Yeah.
Yeah, I talked with Craig Robinson yesterday about the ending of the show and the wrap up. Is this a bittersweet experience, or is it time to go?
Oh, I think it's bittersweet. I mean, I think that we're very attached to the world and the characters, but we also know as each year goes by, we're going to lose people, and then is this the show we started? And you don't want to fade away. You want to have a real ending. You want to have a say in it. And you want each character to have some dignity as they say goodbye, and for the show to have that as well.
How do you feel about the ending?
I feel great about it.
Yeah, it was sort of a monumental task to wrap up 9 years of stories and characters, and the writers did a phenomenal job. We have been using the word epic. We don't want to overstate
Not to be cheesy,
anything.
you guys, but it's kind of epic.
It is. It's the end of 9 years of an amazing show.
I think Greg Daniels did an amazing job, and the last 4 episodes are great. They're each about an hour, right?
Yeah, they're all. Yeah, I think
They're sort of all supersized.
Yeah.
The second to last episode, in that episode, that day the documentary airs. And so you see the fallout of that, and then the finale is really, it was an ambitious episode. It was huge, and multiple locations and guest stars. I think the fans are going to be really happy. I was very, I thought it was
happy,
great.
yeah.
Yeah.
Knowing people that have taken part in documentaries, you have these incredible expectations going into them, and then when you see the final edit, your world basically comes to a crumbling end. Knowing that it was the finale of the show, how much did that hurt? You know, knowing that it didn't turn out well. I know it didn't turn out well, but I mean, when you see the documentary, how much do you take that to heart?
Well, wait. Do you mean? Well, I'm confused. Do you mean the seeing the documentary that aired within the world of the show?
Yes.
Yeah. I think. I don't want to spoil anything. I don't know. But, basically, I think that in order to show the actual documentary of 9 years that these documentarians have been gathering, is again like an epic task to accomplish. But I don't want to give away anything.
I mean, I would say that the fallout from our characters seeing the documentary is huge. There was so much secret footage that we didn't know, that the characters did not know. And it definitely decimates my character's world. And it really plays out for me. My character goes through a public humiliation. I'm pretty sure she loses just about everything she's ever loved and cared about. And then she sort of has a rebirth as well, so it's kind of great. And then I think the fans are really going to love it too. You know, I think we all wanted to see this other world that existed sort of silently there. One of my favorite moments in our show, it was Michael Scott's final episode, and Pam and Michael are at the airport and they take their mics off, and there was just silence. And, you know, Steve as Michael Scott did say something to Pam, and we'll never know what he said. And Jenna has never told me. I'm like her best friend. What the heck? But I love that. I love that. It's like that last moment in Lost in Translation, that private moment. And I feel like we do have some of those moments in these last 4 episodes.
Yeah,
So that's going to enter into TV lore then, the question of what Michael said to
Jenna.
Pam.
To Pam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
I'm really happy they made the decision, because I wasn't sure if you were ever going to know that the documentary does air, what they've been working on. And so this year when they did start breaking down the walls, and kind of when we first see the boom operator for the first time and behind the scenes, and I think the first glimpse was when Michael Scott takes off his microphone and it's just silent. And so it's, I think both as a viewer and as a participant, it's really cool to see that reality come forward.
Yeah, and I think also the characters are very surprised because they didn't know all the extra footage was there and how that impacts their lives. I mean, Stanley, I don't know how many ladies Stanley has on the side, but they're all going to be pissed off.
Right.
So.
Now, I'm assuming we're talking to you today because of the end of the season. But I could be wrong. I mean, is there something else coming up that we should know about, or
Well, I think we're here today to promote the finale, the last 4
okay.
episodes.
That's what I thought.
On a personal note, Ellie and I both did pilots, but
Mhm.
you know, we're sort of in that holding pattern to find out. if
Are you
they go.
pilot season people? Did you do that before the show? And
Yeah, I mean, I think most TV actors do. I mean, I've done a few failed pilots. I remember when I did the Office pilot, I had also just done a pilot for the Oxygen Network about a hair salon. And
Oh my gosh, I want to
yeah,
see that show.
I was the slutty receptionist.
Hello, want to
with
see
my
that show.
push-up bra. Did not go, but it was a good time. So I think we all have one of those under our belts.
Yeah.
do you know when you? I've always been fascinated by pilots. I love them. There's a great book called
Unsold Pilots.
Unsold Pilots from
Oh, that's
1947 till now.
Wow.
Yeah. When you're doing a pilot, do you have a sense of whether it's going to fly or not? Whether this is just a check or whether a possibility of being a gig?
I thought my pilot for Oxygen was a go. I really did. I was
What
like,
did you think
this
of
is happening. I
Office?
didn't know about The Office. It was so quiet and slow paced and so different from what I'd been watching on television, which was exciting. And I was a fan of the BBC version. I just didn't know if it would make it in America. I didn't know if the American audience had the patience, but they did, and I'm so thankful.
When you enter into a show like this, and I know that so much of it is not scripted, is there a tendency to try and inflate your part, or do you establish, the structure within the show and just abide by it?
Since I've been there, it's mostly scripted. My experience,
In the beginning, it really wasn't.
was it not scripted in the beginning?
Well, I think it was a good combination. We had the scripts and we would get things as written, but, Steve was a big improviser. And so definitely with the tops and the bottoms of scenes, things could change and he would mix things up. You tried never to mess with the meat of the scene, like the heart of it, and that's usually a plot line. But you find where you can improvise, and he was such a seasoned improviser that I really think he knew how to do that. Some people do not.
Yeah.
And then they are quickly told to rein it in. But Steve was excellent at it, and it's really fun to be part of that. I think a lot of spontaneous moments happen because of that.
I know from experience, actors are no strangers to insecurity when it comes to job security and stuff. Have you given any thought to the morning when you wake up and actually realize, I'm out of work?
Well, that happened.
That happened on Monday.
That happened 2 weeks ago.
March 18th.
Yeah, exactly. It happened a few weeks ago. I did. I had a panic attack. I was like, I have no blueprint for my life. But yeah.
But that's what you signed.
That's what you
signed up for.
Kind of.
Yeah.
One of the things I was going to say, sort of back to your question, sorry, is that I feel like if you're part of a really good ensemble, then you know when to share the joke and when not to. And I think Steve Carell set the bar for us. He was so professional. He was about what makes the scene work, what makes it funny. And I've definitely been part of, projects where the lead wanted all the jokes. Steve was not like that. And from day one, he set the bar. I remember being in a group scene where he actually said, I think it would be funny if Phyllis said that. And bang, there went his line, went to Phyllis. And that's just someone who wants the scene to work. And our show really benefited from his leadership.
There's so many good improvisers on that show, and I think everyone, Angela included, you groundlings, and do that, you had that understanding that what makes the best performance is what serves the scene the best, and not the individual actor, so you're...
Exactly, and
yeah.
I think if you've sort of been through some improv training, it's all about what can I do for my partner, not how to make myself shine, but what gift can I give my partner?
Yeah.
And I think Steve had that same
Yeah.
philosophy.
Yeah.
Can you describe what the last evening set was like?
It was very sad.
Very sad.
Yeah.
Very sad. I will say this about our finale. It is a huge episode. It's very ambitious. It was a lot of locations, which we're not used to. It felt like we were filming a movie.
Mhm.
We filmed 9 days. We worked 2 weekends. And it was sort of a sprint to the finish. So we had a lot of moments that were emotional, but then you'd have to be like, we have so much to cover. We got to
Yeah.
rein this in. So then by the time we got to the end, the last scene that we filmed was a group scene. We were in the bullpen. I think I can say that. That's okay, right? We were in the bullpen of The Office. So already you're nostalgic because so much of your life, over 9 years, has happened in that room. And we were getting towards the end of we'd done a few takes of the final scene, and the whole crew had gathered around on stage, and Kim Quapis yelled, "Cut, cut," and then Greg Daniels said, "That's a series wrap on the cast of The Office." And we were all there together, and we just all disintegrated.
Yeah.
We just all started crying. We were hugging each other, hugging the crew, hugging Greg. And we were just, I was just so thankful. I was so thankful that we got to end that way.
Oh, yeah.
It felt like such a privilege.
Yeah, it was
I'm
also,
misting up just hearing it.
I know, well, wait till you tune in.
Want to sing a long way to Tipperary, you know?
Yeah.
Well, we should.
Yeah, it did feel like, it felt like one of the more special moments of my life.
Yeah.